Imagine turning 30 and opening your banking app to see $1 million sitting in your account. No debt, no financial stress, complete freedom. It sounds like the ultimate success story. Social media certainly makes it look that way. Every week, there's another headline about a 24-year-old founder selling a startup, a 27-year-old investor buying luxury real estate, or a YouTuber claiming they became a millionaire before finishing their 20s. After seeing enough of these stories, it's easy to believe one uncomfortable idea. If you haven't made it by 30, you're already behind. But here's the strange part. Becoming a millionaire before 30 has never been more visible. Yet statistically, it has never been normal. We see the winners constantly because success attracts attention. We almost never see the millions of people following the exact same path who quietly fail. The internet doesn't reward average outcomes. It rewards extraordinary ones. Whenever people talk about becoming a millionaire, they usually imagine a giant salary, a dream job paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But income alone rarely explains extreme wealth. If earning a high salary automatically created millionaires, every doctor, lawyer, and executive would become rich quickly. Many don't. The reason is surprisingly simple. Wealth isn't built by how much money passes through your hands. It's built by how much stays there and what that money begins to own. Imagine two people earning exactly $150,000 a year. One spends nearly all of it upgrading their lifestyle every time their paycheck grows. A bigger apartment, a newer car, more expensive vacations, better restaurants. The other quietly invests a large portion into businesses, stocks, or assets that continue growing long after the paycheck arrives. 10 years later, they may have completely different financial lives despite earning the same income. This is where many people misunderstand the word millionaire. A millionaire isn't necessarily someone earning $1 million every year. It's someone whose assets, after subtracting debts, are worth at least $1 million. That distinction changes everything. A surprising number of millionaires don't look wealthy at all. They drive ordinary cars, live in modest homes, wear simple clothes, not because they can't afford luxury, but because every dollar spent on status is a dollar that stops compounding into future wealth. Compounding sounds like one of those boring financial words people skip over. In reality, it's one of the most powerful forces in economics. Imagine planting a tree. During the first few years, growth feels painfully slow. Then every branch begins growing new branches, and eventually the tree expands faster almost by itself. Money behaves in much the same way. Investments begin earning returns. Those returns generate even more returns. Given enough time, growth starts accelerating. The problem is that time may be the one thing someone trying to become a millionaire before 30 doesn't have much of. Someone beginning serious investing at 22 has only 8 years before reaching that milestone. That's a remarkably short window for compound growth to perform its magic, which explains why many young millionaires didn't become wealthy simply by investing their salaries. Most built or owned something that could grow far beyond the number of hours they personally worked. Ownership changes the equation. Throughout history, the fastest paths to extraordinary wealth have rarely come from selling time. They came from owning assets that could scale. Companies, real estate, software, intellectual property, investments, businesses that could serve thousands or even millions of people simultaneously. Think about a software founder. The first customer may require months of work. The 10,000th customer might require almost no additional effort. The same piece of software can be sold repeatedly without being rebuilt every time. That's leverage. And leverage has always been one of the fastest wealth multipliers ever created. Today's digital economy has dramatically expanded access to leverage. A single creator can publish videos watched by millions. A developer can build an app used worldwide. An entrepreneur can sell digital products across dozens of countries while sleeping. Technology allows individuals to create value at scales that previously required entire organizations. But this is exactly where survivorship bias quietly enters the story. For every startup founder appearing on magazine covers, thousands of startups quietly shut down. For every creator earning millions online, countless others upload videos for years without significant income. Social media naturally highlights the exceptions because they're fascinating. Ordinary outcomes rarely go viral. Luck also plays a much larger role than most people like to admit. Being born during the rise of smartphones, artificial intelligence, or social media created opportunities that simply didn't exist for previous generations. Meeting the right business partner, launching a product at exactly the right moment, avoiding a recession. Sometimes extraordinary success depends on timing just as much as talent. None of this means hard work doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But hard work alone has never guaranteed extraordinary wealth. Plenty of people work incredibly hard in jobs that never create financial independence. The difference often comes down to where effort is applied and whether it builds ownership instead of only producing income. Ironically, chasing millionaire status itself can become a distraction. People begin optimizing for a number instead of asking a more useful question. What kind of life are they actually trying to build? A person worth $2 million but trapped inside a business they hate may be less financially free than someone with far less wealth but complete control over their time. Money creates options. It doesn't automatically create satisfaction. There's another reality rarely discussed online. Inflation quietly changes what millionaire status actually means. Decades ago, becoming a millionaire almost guaranteed extraordinary wealth. Today, in many cities, $1 million buys far less than people imagine after accounting for housing, taxes, healthcare, and the rising cost of living. The title stayed the same. The purchasing power didn't. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't about becoming a millionaire before 30 at all. It's about understanding how wealth is actually created. Most fortunes begin with ownership. They grow through leverage. They accelerate through compounding. And they survive through patience. The internet celebrates the finish line because that's the exciting part. It rarely shows the decade of uncertainty that came before it. So maybe the real question isn't whether you'll become a millionaire before turning 30. Maybe it's whether you're building the kinds of assets that could still be making you wealthier long after your 30th birthday arrives.